Hey y'all. Okay, I am so excited to be here today. How is everybody's week going? I hope you're having an amazing one. I, for one, cannot even believe that it's about to be 2021. Like we're heading into the final 4 months of 2021, which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. And as we're getting ready to head into fall and the fourth quarter of 2020. And, I feel like anytime you change seasons, it just feels transitional, right? Like we're getting done with summer and kids are going back to school and things are changing. I mean, things are changing in general, craziness all the time. Like every day seems different. But even on top of that, our lifestyles are changing. I feel like when we go from season to season, our mindset changes. And so I want to talk to you guys about how you can really maximize your strengths as a business owner in the final 4 months of 2020. The number one thing I want you to think about is how can I focus on my strengths? And what I mean by that is, everybody naturally has strengths and weaknesses, right? Like we all have things we're good at. We all have things that we're less good at, right? We all have things that we can do that are really come easy to us and we really thrive in, and other things we feel like we really struggle. And here's the thing that I think is such a common misconception that gets a lot of business owners and leaders and people in sales just stuck. And it's that we think that we need to identify what we're not good at or what our weaknesses are, and we need to make those better, right? So we're like, okay, I've got XYZ down pat, but this one thing over there, I don't really have it mastered yet. So I really need to hone in on that. And while it is important to in general, learn the skills of your business or your trade or, work to be your best, a lot of people really slow themselves down in business and really set themselves back because they're obsessing about the things that they're not really good at. And, I really kind of credit it to, probably how a lot of us grew up, right? Can you think back to times where you were just wired to be honing on that thing? You did XYZ, but even in school, you got all these questions right, but if you would have gotten these 3 questions right, you would have gotten an A instead of a B, or, you did really good in sports today, but that one, backflip, you need to do better on that or whatever. And like I said, it is important to just in general try to improve yourself as a person and in your business and everything. But the problem is, the tricky part is that if you obsess too much about trying to improve your weaknesses, you will have people totally just zoom past you. And the people that are zooming past you, going to the top, having massive success, guess what? They don't have all their boxes checked. They are not magically talented and gifted in every area of their business. The reason that they're zooming past you, having big success, experiencing a lot of momentum, is because they're focusing on what they're good at. They're honing in on their strengths. And when I learned this concept, it really changed things for me, because I think it's so important to note that we all bring different tools and gifts to the table, right? And it's just that same concept. The world doesn't need you to go and be a copy of someone else, right? The world needs you to be you. You need to own your power, own your strengths, and that's how you'll thrive. We've all heard that, but when you're looking at your business, how crazy is it to think that you could have probably double the success that you have right now just by putting on your blinders, stop obsessing about what other people are doing or what other people are good at, and just go be good at what you're good at. Some people in business are really good at analytics and numbers and strategy. Other people are really good at communication and personal skills and connecting with people. Other people are really good at visioneering and being able to plan for the future and seeing the bigger picture. Other people are really good at hard work and grinding it out and going after things in a scrappy way. We all have our strengths. And so what I want to encourage you to do today is to, first of all, of course, focus on your strengths, but in order to focus on your strengths, you have to identify what your strengths are. So many times, I think we note what we're good at, and then we just kind of put that to the side because we're yeah, I'm good at those things. That's fine. I don't even have to think to do those things. But what about this thing over here that I can't seem to figure out? Okay. So we're going to, first of all, focus on how we can figure out what your top 3 strengths are. So I want you to just ask yourself a few questions. And there is actually a really great book, just so you know, it's called Strength Finders. They have a whole Strength Finders quiz you can take that'll actually identify your top strengths. But for today, we're just going to ask some questions and do some self-reflection. So here's the questions I want you to ask yourself. Ask yourself, number 1, what do you do well? Just write it down. What do you do well? Another question you can ask yourself is, what do you do better than others? What do you do better than others? Third question you can ask is, what are some unique talents or gifts that you have? Like, what are some things in your life that you've always been good at, or have always come easy to you, or have always kind of just come naturally? Another question that's really helpful to ask is, what do others say that your strengths are? Like the people that are closest to you, or that you work with, or that are in your circle. What do others people see as your strengths? If you're not sure, shoot them a text real quick and just say, hey, I'm doing an exercise. Can you just tell me off the top of your head, what do you think you see as like my top 3 strengths? You never know what they'll say back. And the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what are you really proud of in your business, or what do you really enjoy in your business? Like, what do you like to do? Chances are, if you enjoy it, if you like to do it, and if you get really proud about it, it's probably because it's a strength of yours. Y'all know we all have those things in business that, like, that one area that just makes us want to go, have a bottle of wine or cry or whatever, because it's just not our gift. And here's the thing I want to tell you. A lot of times those things that are not your gift, they still need to get done, right? Like somebody still needs to balance the budget or, analyze the Google Analytics or whatever it is. But it maybe might just not need to be you. A really great leader, a really great business owner knows how to spend their energy on the things that move the needle. And the things that are going to move the needle for you are going to be the things that you're good at, the things that are in your strength zone, the things that kind of are where you thrive. And then those things that are not in that category, delegate to someone else. Get support. Automate them, delegate them, or create a system to make it easier so that you're not having to spend your time or energy there. So once you ask these questions and kind of identify and try to narrow it down to what your top 3 strengths are. And the next thing I want you to do is I want to ask yourself some strength boosting questions, because here is my personal little magical key to success or whatever. There's really not any magical keys, but here's my little thing. You want to think about, okay, you've got your 3 strengths identified. Now, how do you maximize yourself in business? You need to boost those. Like, you need to put a nitro burst on those, or supercharge them, or like whatever you want to call it. Boost up the things that you're good at. So think about it like you're identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, you're delegating out, automating, or putting in a system. Strengths, you're doubling down on. And that's how you're really going to take things to the next level quickly. So ask yourself, how can I develop this more? So like if you're really good at marketing, or you're really good at social media, or you're really good at numbers and math, or you're really good at strategy and planning, or you're really good at organization, or you're really good at client interaction and customer service and people skills. How could I develop this more? Is there something that you, like a podcast you could listen to, a book you could read, some new research? Like how could you strengthen your strength? Make sense? The next question you want to ask is, how can I turn this into an opportunity or into more opportunity? So if you're really good at, let's say marketing and social media, how could you double down and turn that into more opportunity for your business? If you're really good at strategy and accounting and analytics, how could you double down and turn that into more opportunity for your business? Okay, third question, what ideas do I have around the strength that I've been putting off? So like I said, it's a really normal thing. If you've ever had this happen, we're just going to stop doing it today, but it happens to so many entrepreneurs is we recognize our strengths and then push those to the side because we want to enhance this one area we're not as good at, which is the opposite of what you want to do. So flip it. And what you want to think about is, okay, what are some ideas I've had in that category that I've been putting off to the side because, I'm focusing over here? And how can I start to bring those to the forefront? So do you have a new idea around customer service? Do you have a new idea around lead generating? Do you have a new idea around, how to streamline math or negotiation skills or accounting, or organize your team system more? What could you create more of? The next question, where could I use my strength to take my business to the next level? So in what way can you think about leverage? The idea of, let's say, okay, right, here's a really heavy rock. You can't just lift the rock up, but if you can wedge something underneath and then get over here, you've got that leverage, right? This is your strength. This is the goal. So when you can wedge your strength under that goal and then jump over here, you're going to make that goal happen way easier because you're leveraging your strength. So think about that. Where could I use my strength in my business to take things to the next level? Because maybe you're in sales and you're yeah, but I'm really good at math and I feel like I need to be really good at talking to people. Okay, well, that might be something that would be helpful, but how could you leverage math to be better at sales? What if you created an offer for your clients? Like you created a worksheet, like, hey, I created the, let's say you're in real estate. I created the return on investment calculator for my clients right here. This is a benefit you get when you work with me. Just an example, but what could you do that's going to leverage your strength? And then the last question I want you to ask is, where could my business shine if I really went for it? So what would like your lane be in, so what would differentiate you from your competitors in your market and make you stand out when you really hone in on your strengths and go for it? Like, what would make you different? Once you do that, I want you to write down, you've asked those questions to help identify what your strengths are and maybe where some of the missing links could be. And then I just want you to like create a little plan of action for yourself. So go down below that on a piece of paper, write your top 3 strengths, 1, 2, 3. And then next to it, I just want you to write, I could boost this strength by blank. And just fill it in. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be like the end all be all, but just use this as a tool to brainstorm. Get some new thoughts going. Get some new ideas going. How could you boost your strength? Each strength out of those top 3, how could you boost that strength? And then how could that strength boost your business? Okay. So I could boost this strength by blank. This strength could boost my business by blank. So write those for each 3. And then what I want you to think about is that now you have a little action plan for how you can scale your business in a really simple way. What I think gets a lot of entrepreneurs stuck is that we feel like we have to scale our business like somebody else scales their business. Have you ever looked at like a plan for how to like launch your business or expand or, take things to the next level? And like everybody has a different way, right? Have you ever tried to duplicate other people's systems and it just feels overwhelming or it just doesn't work as well for you or whatever? It's because they're doing a system that works for them. And that's why they're having success, because their system is highlighting their strengths. So I want you to think about, it's so smart to learn from other people and take notes and, copy the right cat. Absolutely. But in addition, you want to get clear on your own strengths, how they impact your business, and how it can truly make a long-term difference for you. So go own it, create your plan, hone in on your strengths, and just swim in your own lane. And remember that is going to be a key cornerstone piece to having the most powerful 4 months in 2020 as we head toward the new year. So have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. If you're listening to this and you just love what I've been sharing and you're like, this is so resonating with me, I want to invite you to come and get in the waiting list for High Performance Leadership Week. It's a free 5-day challenge I'm kicking off here in just a couple weeks, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to be talking about all things how to scale up, level up in business, leadership, and sales. It is for all industries for women, and I'm so excited for you to take the 5-day challenge with me. So the waiting list is up right now. The link is in my bio. DM me or go to my Linktree to get the link and get on the waiting list for the High Performance Leadership Week. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.